today I'm just going to be giving you my quick review of Detective Pikachu Returns. So this is the Detective Pikachu Returns review, and yes, this is going to be a very quick one. That's why I'm not doing a face cam today, because to be honest there's not much to be said about this, but I thought I would be covering it anyway, since most people won't be playing this unless if you're a die-hard fan of the original Detective Pikachu. And I think most people know about this series because of the movie, which was a hit because it had our friendly, goofy, relatable next-door neighbor in it, Ryan Reynolds. Yes, everyone loves him because he's just such a nice guy.
Jerry. Jerry.
Hi, Fiona.
Look what you did to me.
I'm so sorry.
So this is a nice change from most Pokemon games. I think we've all played Pokemon games at this point, and it's a very different type of game because at the end of the day this is a detective mystery story, and that is mostly what the gameplay is going around interacting with different Pokemon and characters, finding new leads, and then, you know, progressing the story that way. But also you have to bear in mind that this is a cozy, kind of relaxed, chill type of game. Obviously, it's not going to be challenging. It's not LA Noire over here. You know, Pikachu isn't going to find like a bludgeoned dead whore in the middle of a goddamn, you know, neon lit alleyway, okay? That's just not going to happen. Although that would be quite funny to see. So you got to remember this is a very chill type of game, and also it is catered towards kids, okay? So, you know, this is a good game to buy if you have maybe kids of your own, or if you're just looking for a chilled out experience, then I would recommend this. But you just got to remember that the puzzles here, they aren't that, you know, complicated, and basically you will get choices, you know, to basically try out different things. For example, on this rock, you know, to try and lure this Pokemon in, you have different choices that you can use to do that, but you got to remember that there's not going to be a penalty if you do fail, okay? So, you know, it's very relaxed in that sense.
But Misty, did you know that the human body is approximately 57% water?
Oh yeah, wow, that's really interesting. Go f*** yourself.
Sorry.
So we all know about the original Pokemon games, where basically you capture a bunch of creatures with low IQ and you enslave them and force them to battle. That's a, you know, very kid-friendly idea, and it's beloved by absolutely everyone. That's a classic gameplay loop in which you basically level up your inbreded creatures and then of course battle them with other trainers, and, you know, the best master will win. You know, it's a classic tale as old as time at this point. So this is a nice change of pace because basically, you know, this is a detective game, and there's not much to it except, you know, the world map is a lot bigger now in this one because this is, you know, the second installment of Detective Pikachu. So Detective Pikachu Returns is now using the hardware of the Switch, which means, of course, the graphics and the fidelity is slightly better. But one thing I do have to say that I really don't like about this is the art style is just very, very plain and simplistic. You know, the characters here look like something out of a McDonald's commercial or something like that, you know, something safe and family friendly, very just boring, okay? I'm not expecting, you know, very detailed characters, but it just would have been nice to have a little bit more charm, you know, something like Animal Crossing where it's a little bit more cutesy. Don't get me wrong, it's passable, but it's nothing amazing. So now I'm going to get into the positives and the negatives of this Detective Pikachu Returns review, and bear in mind this is only based on a small segment of the game, but, you know, with a game this kind of simple, that's more than enough to go on. But basically the first positive is, of course, you know, you are mostly finding clues, talking to characters. Because the map is a lot bigger this time around, there's basically more variation in the environments and locations, which is nice. As you interact with different characters and you get pulled into different little side stories to figure out what's going on, basically you will jot down, you know, information in your notebook, and that's how you basically keep track of all of the information that you have and all of the different testimonies, which then you can, you know, use to progress the mission. Bear in mind that you do need the correct evidence to progress, and if you're missing something vital, then Pikachu will basically remind you that you need to, you know, go back and talk to certain people. So basically, you know, it doesn't halt your progress and you know, there's basically no way in which you can actually fail. Like I said, this is a more very chilled out experience. So another positive here, and like I said, it has been a while since the first original Detective Pikachu came out, and you know, using the Switch they can obviously do more with this franchise now, but basically now you can actually play as Pikachu, which is pretty cool because it gives a whole new dynamic to the kind of Pokemon world. And I know there's a lot of people, adults, who, you know, love Pokemon, who were big fans of Pokemon, you know, when they were kids, and you know, Pokemon isn't going anywhere, and it's just nice that we have different games to capture different essences, because not everyone likes the same repeated, you know, gameplay loop of the older Pokemon games, and there's so many of those games already, so it's nice to have something more just kind of chilled out. And you know, this is supposed to be funny and just quirky, and the writing here, although it's not very sophisticated, and obviously it's not trying to be, it is very cozy, and Detective Pikachu is always funny, and now that you have these interactions with other Pokemon, it just adds a whole new layer to the gameplay, which is pretty nice, and for fans of the series, they're definitely going to enjoy that, I think.
Time for the Poke Party dance!
And at the end of the day, this does continue the story of the first Detective Pikachu, and there is like an intro cinematic to basically, you know, catch people up to the story, but you will be solving different mysteries, and, you know, it's just nice now with basically using the Switch, because it just gives you more details with the characters and the Pokemon, and it makes it feel much more alive, and you can basically tell, you know, like, who's the guilty partner based on their emotions and stuff like that, and how they react. It's again very simplistic, but it's just you know, a nice easy game, and if you're a fan of Pokemon, then you will definitely like this. So I just wanted to cover this just in case there are any fans of Pokemon and Detective Pikachu. You know, I'm trying to cover a wide range of games on my channel, not just the main AAA stuff, because I think that's not always the best. And also I'm trying to cover indie stuff and basically the smaller games as well, because I think it's worth highlighting all of them at this point, and then I can basically do the videos that I care about in between the gaming review videos, more on, you know, analyses and video essays and philosophical stuff. So hopefully someone out there who is a fan of Pokemon, you found this useful, and basically this will help you decide if you will want to play Detective Pikachu Returns. Let me know what you think down below in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day. Peace out.